Okay, today we're going to look at operations with functions. By operations, we're only going to look at two operations today. We're going to look at addition and subtraction. Now, we've already done work with evaluating functions, where you're given a number and you're substituting the number in place of the variable and finding the actual value. So the first example we're going to look at, you're given f of x equals negative 2x plus 3. And then you're given g of x is equal to negative 2x plus 1. Okay, and they want us to find f of x plus g of x. To find f of x plus g of x, we know that f of x is negative 2x plus 3. And we're going to add your g of x, which is negative 2x plus 1. So now it's just a matter of combining like terms. And we're going to write that f of x plus g of x is equal, your negative 2x and your negative 2x is negative 4x. 3 plus 1 is 4. So f of x plus g of x is equal to negative 4x plus 4. That's the rule for addition. The second example we're going to look at deals with subtraction. Now with subtraction, it gets to be just a little tricky. Alright, for subtraction, we have g of x. G of x equals four x minus 5, and h of x equals 7x minus 2. Alright, and the instruction says to find g of x minus h of x. So we're going to replace g of x with 4x minus 5. Subtract. I'm going to put the h of x in parentheses. Anytime you're dealing with parentheses, you have to put the expression that comes behind the subtraction sign in parentheses. So now in middle school, we learned that if there's a minus sign in front of the parentheses, we're going to distribute it and it changes the signs. So negative 7x plus 2. Combine your like terms. 4x minus 7x is negative 3x. Negative 5x plus 2 is negative 3. So g of x minus h of x equals negative 3x minus 3. So that's two examples with addition and subtraction of functions. So that should help you get through the first couple of problems on your worksheet. Okay, now the next thing we're going to look at is how to evaluate the function and then use an operation. So we're given f of n equals n squared minus 2. G of n equals 2n plus 4. Okay, the direction says to find f of negative 7 and, no, not n. Find f of negative 7 minus g of negative 7. Okay, so what we do here is we first evaluate f of negative 7. So f of negative 7 equals negative 7 squared minus 2. 49 minus 2, which is 47. Then we're going to evaluate g of negative 7. Right, so g of negative 7 is equal to 2 times negative 7 plus 4. Negative 14 plus 4, which is negative 10. So now we're going to do f of negative 7 minus g of negative 7. F of negative 7 was 47 minus g of negative 7 was negative 10. Two negatives make a positive, so we have 47 plus 10. So f of negative 7 minus g of negative 7 equals 57. Okay, so that's an example of evaluating the function and then performing an operation. Your last two examples will deal with finding the composition of a function. And we talked about this briefly in class, but I'm going to work through 2 examples to make sure that you have a better understanding of the composition. Okay, so you're given 2 functions. F of x is 3x minus 2, and g of x is 3x plus 1. Your direction says to find f of g of x. Okay, now remember when we worked through this problem like this on the board, we talked about always starting on the inside. So I'm going to start by replacing my g of x. So this is going to be f of 3x plus 1. So the first thing we did is replace g of x. Okay, that's the first thing we did. Now this says substitute 3x plus 1 in place of x in the f function. So my f function is here. F of x is equal to negative 3x minus 2. So f of x equals negative 3x minus 2. And I need to find f of 3x plus 1. So it's going to be negative 3 times 3x plus 1 minus 2. So what I did here is, here's my variable x. I'm taking the 3x plus 1, substituting in place of the x. Now I'm going to distribute negative 9x minus 3 minus 2. Combine like terms. My f of g of x is equal to negative 9x minus 5. Okay. Now, last problem. F of x equals negative 2x squared minus 2x. G of x equals negative x minus 5. We're still looking at composition. So the composition that we're going to find is, we're going to find f of g of x. Okay, we're still going to start on the inside. In place of the g of x, we're going to put negative x minus 5. So now it's f of negative x minus 5. Now we're going to go to the f function and put negative x minus 5 in place of the variable. And we know that f of x, we know that f of x is negative 2x squared minus 2x. So f of negative x minus 5 equals negative 2 parentheses negative x minus 5 squared minus 2 times negative x minus 5. All right, now you haven't had any training with simplifying this part. So we're just going to leave this squared for now. Here we're going to distribute, and you get plus 2x plus 10. And later on I'll teach you how to multiply this out. If you already know, then you could try on your own. But for right now, and until I return, this will be good enough.